Hello and welcome, dear friends. Thank you very much to tune in. My name is Kindaba. My story is coming from South Africa. There was a summit that took place in South Africa between South Africa and Kenya. But what we're going to listen today is President of Kenya, Mr. Kenyatta, or President Kenyatta, who is pledging for the African continent to become more united. As you may see, there is always this external forces that doing everything they can in order to destabilize the continent. Is because the founding forefathers miss to unite the country or the continent to become one country. So we have got these small islands, we'll call it islands because we're creating all those borders, which is we are not the one who create the borders, and right now we just stuck on these borders, not allowing people to travel freely from one country to the other. So I'll play you this video here, and then just pay attention what the president has to say.
You are not competitors. And I think the big mistake we have made is by making each other competitors. We are not competing. Our problem is that we are not working closer together to meet the demands that our people have. And as I was telling another gathering, these borders, and I also mentioned to my brother, these borders that you create silos for yourselves amongst, you must always remember, are not your creation. These were creations of people outside of this continent who made these borders not to develop you, but to extract from you. Now that you want to develop yourself, we must start looking at these borders, and we must start removing the barriers that we have put, that have defined us in the past, and now hinder us from being the giant that we should be. I was telling my brother this morning the ridiculousness of our borders, that we in Kenya have a border demarcated with, on one side with Tanzania, where the people who live on the border are the Maasai community. They were a nation once upon a time. Now today, they are Kenyans, they are Tanzanians, and yet they are relatives. But they live on two sides of a border. This is not proper. I was telling him of another example. To our west, Lake Victoria, where again another boundary was drawn between Kenya and Uganda. And where at one particular moment in time, between 2005 and 2007, we had two brothers, same father, same mother. Those who come from polygamous families know what I'm talking about. But this particular one, the same father, same mother. But because their land was stretched across between Kenya and Uganda, one brother inherited land on the Ugandan side, the other brother inherited land on the Kenyan side. And between 2005 and 2007, we had one brother as the vice president of Kenya, and the other brother as the minister in charge of the presidency in Uganda. Now, I don't know whether you can find a much more ridiculous situation to explain the kind of position some of us find ourselves in. So these borders were not made for us. If we are going to become manufacturing giants, we need to do away with these borders. We need to see the African market as one. We need to be able to develop giants like Airbus that makes components in the United Kingdom, that makes components in France and in other parts of Europe, but has become a global conglomerate. They didn't come together because they loved each other. We all know how they hate each other. We know. Yeah? But they've come together to survive. Africa must come together for us to survive. Survive and indeed prosper. I wish you all the very best. I am very excited that my brother has pushed this agenda of Kenya Airways and South African Airlines, and I am very hopeful that in the very near future, I shall be one of the first customers on a Pan-African flight that is owned by Africa and run by Africans. There's a story that says it's better to own a small piece of a big thing than a big piece of nothing. So I'm looking forward to our small piece in a big Pan-African airline. Thank you very much.
Well, as you had a chance to hear, that's exactly what we need in the African continent, to see how we can eliminate all these borders that we've got here, because the more freedom people will have to travel from one country to the next, that will be easier for us to build our economy. Because currently what exactly it is, people, instead of traveling across Africa, the only way we want to travel is Europe and America. That's exactly what, in many people in the continent, the only place they want to travel is to go in Europe. Some of the people think if they want to at least travel, go to South Africa, or that is where many people are thinking to travel, if within Africa. But otherwise, people just think to travel all over Europe and America. So that's exactly what it is. And let's build this continent as a better place for, if we not be able to have it as a united African continent, but at least those who are coming will be able to enjoy the work that we are going to do, the work that is need to be done now, in order to the people who are coming, our children and the grandchildren, will be able to benefit the way that Europeans and Americans are enjoying from what they forefather built their countries with our blood. As you may know, that most of these countries, they were built with our hand, our blood, in order to build all these beautiful buildings that we see in this country. So, dear friends, thank you very much to tune in. That was the video that I would like to tell you, or the story that I would like to mention. But please remember, I want us to have your support. We are getting there. We've got now some numbers of subscribers here, so we love to keep it up and continue send you or give you more information about the African continent. So for now, until next one, cheers buddy.